DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. I want to talk about how BLM basically got hijacked by the LGBTQ and all the other letters that go with it. And this is something that I've already made clear my thoughts on BLM. If you didn't see it, I got a video here on YouTube, and I talked about BLM a bunch of times. I am not a fan of BLM, the organization. I'm not a fan of BLM, the hashtag, the movement, whatever you want to call it. BLM was, as Kanye said, BLM was a complete scam, all of it. All, whatever form you want to call it, whatever language you want to use, the whole thing was a scam. You can see my whole video where I talked about why I'm not a fan of BLM for my deeper thoughts on that. But the reason I'm talking about this right now is because I was on Twitter and I saw some clips from the NAACP Image Awards. That's what this is called, the Image Awards. So they're giving out awards for the image of NAACP is for black people. So how my camera fell off there. So they're giving out awards for how certain black people are, I suppose, representing, or I assume that they look at it as enhancing the image of black people in America. And the one that I want to talk about was the award that I don't even know what the award was. Actually, it was called the President's Award. It was the President's Award, and the award went to Dwayne Wade, one of my favorite basketball players when he was playing and when I was playing, and Gabrielle Union, his wife. And I suppose they got the award. I don't know if they actually said this is why they got the award, but they got the award, and their whole speech was about, of course, their child, Dwayne Wade's biological child, which was born a boy and now is a girl. And Gabrielle Union is the stepmother to this child. And their whole speech was all around, that child who is now a girl, and basically talking about how that now son, now daughter is so courageous, and how they've learned so much from that child. And Gabrielle Union talking about why we demand equality for black people, but the LGBTQ, they are not getting equality either, and we got to fight for them, etc., etc., etc. And you can probably find their speech online if you would like to know about it. The reason why I'm talking about this is because what I've noticed is that the BLM movement was all about, how black people have been, and this is the point that the BLM movement made. I'm not saying that I agree with it, but this is the point that they made, that black people have been, just continually, for lack of a better term, mistreated, not given rights, attacked, killed by police, hunted down every day, etc. Y'all know the talking points that BLM has. Whether you agree with them or not, their talking points. They've gone with this for years, since BLM has been around for about 10 years, has accomplished absolutely nothing. There's not a single measurable thing BLM has accomplished in 10 years, not one. They did accomplish one thing. They got the cop from the George Floyd thing convicted. I'm not saying that he wouldn't have got convicted anyway. I am saying, though, the pressure that the BLM contingent put on that jury during that George Floyd cop trial, Derek Chauvin, had he gotten off, America would still be on fire right now. There would still be riots right now had he gotten off. So I believe the pressure of BLM did achieve that. And I say that in a tongue-in-cheek way. I'm kind of being sarcastic, but I'm actually being honest. They did achieve that. BLM has achieved nothing else. They have not advanced black people at all. And speaking of advancing black people, NAACP, they have awards. It's called the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. How are they advancing black people? Well, they're not. So, it sounds good, but they're not advancing. What does the NAACP accomplish? Name something without Googling it. Name two things, three things, or one thing the NAACP has ever achieved without Googling it. You probably can't name one thing because they haven't done anything. That's the whole point. So, when I saw Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade giving their speech, and they were conflating the movement and the desires of black people to advance in America with the movement and the desires of LGBT people to advance in America, I said LGBT just hijacked all the energy that BLM produced. They just hijacked it and made it their own. That's exactly what they did. They just stole it. They just stole the soul from BLM and conflated it with the LGBT movement, and nobody seems to have noticed. And or people who did notice, they're okay with this because they want to tie BLM and LGBTQ in together. I believe, while I am not a supporter of BLM and I am not in the LGBTQ community in any way, if you were just asking me strategically, let's just say that some BLM people came to me, like people who are leaders in BLM. And I don't know how you be a leader in a movement that's not going anywhere, but let's just say leaders in BLM came to me and said, Dre, you want some strategic advice? What do you think about us pairing ourselves off with LGBTQ and combining our movements together? I would say, well, look at the results of what's happened so far. Y'all are some fucking fools. Y'all got played. Why? Why do I say this? I say this because, first of all, BLM had a lot of momentum and energy and attention and a bunch of people willing to do their bidding in the summer of 2020. After the George Floyd thing, and then more attention got brought to the Breonna Taylor thing, which actually happened before George Floyd, but it didn't draw as much attention as George Floyd because you had that video. There was a lot of energy. There was a whole bunch of people, corporations, white people, everybody just wanted to give money towards anything with the words BLM on it. So if you jumped on a BLM train in the summer of 2020, I respect your hustle, because there was a lot of money to be made from associating yourself with BLM in the summer of 2020, because there was a whole bunch of corporations / white people, and most corporations are run by white people, who felt guilty for whatever reason, guilt by association, just by being white. They felt guilty and they felt like they needed to do something for black people. And what they ended up doing was giving money. So if you made some money in 2020 just by virtue of being black and using BLM, I respect your hustle. All right, I will say that for everybody who is watching this. And I'm being tongue in cheek, but I'm also being serious. And what happened was the LGBTQ movement looked at what BLM had going on, and they said very smartly, all right, all this energy is going towards BLM, and they're basically guilting people into giving money towards BLM adjacent causes. LGBTQ said, let's combine what we do. Let's conflate the gay movement with the black movement and say, well, black people weren't given rights and they were mistreated and they still fighting for rights. You know what? We're going to use the exact same talking points. We're fighting for rights. We've been mistreated. We haven't been given rights, and we're going to make our thing one thing. Here's the difference between LGBTQ and BLM, is that LGBTQ is actually organized. LGBTQ has actual leaders. LGBTQ has an actual game plan for what they're doing. And BLM has none of those things. All BLM has is BLM has a bunch of energy. They do have that. So you got a whole bunch of black people, some of them watching this video right now, who get really excited about anything BLM related, i.e. America's racist, white cops, racism period, black people are fighting for justice. There's a bunch of black people who get really excited about that, and white people who get really excited about that, but there's no organization, there are no real guiding principles, and there's no game plan. Where's BLM going? All right, what's BLM's next move? All right, what's their agenda? Nobody can answer that question because there isn't one. They have no game plan. It's just a whole bunch of energy and talking points and saying stuff, but it's not actually going anywhere. LGBT has a game plan. All right, case in point, Dwayne Wade's child. That's part of their game plan. Case in point, what's the cat? I don't even know the dude's name. Well, dude, now woman, alleged woman, who is like the military guy, who's, I think is Rachel something. I think it's Rachel Levine. I believe the name is Rachel. Right? They have a game plan. Their game plan is the following. Here's the game plan. First, it's tolerate that gay people exist. The next level is acceptance of gay people. So tolerating is just, all right, you exist, I'm not going to beat you up. Acceptance is, all right, you're there, you're good, fine. The next level is, now you got to celebrate us. So it's not just be okay with gay people. Now you got to put on a gay flag, and you got to wear like a gay t-shirt, the rainbow t-shirt, not a gay flag, but the rainbow flag, the rainbow t-shirt, because LGBTQ has basically hijacked the rainbow and made that a symbol of what they're about. Then it's the next level is celebrate us. So that's having like the pride walks, and some of y'all had kids in school and they got your kids doing this LGBTQ stuff. Some of you parents better wake up. And the next level, the next level is after accept us, is what happened to Dwayne Wade's kid. Participate. Tolerate, accept, celebrate, participate. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the steps. LGBT has a game plan. BLM has no game plan. So when they combine together, guess who's going to win? The person with the game plan. LGBTQ has a game plan, and they have hijacked all the energy that BLM had from the summer of 2020 to now, and they have turned all that energy and put it on the LGBTQ situation. And actually, we can't call that a movement. Even though I don't agree with what LGBTQ is doing, is it a movement? Yes, it is a movement. All right, I don't agree with, you might not agree with the Holocaust, but the Holocaust was a movement because they were going somewhere. They knew where they were going. They knew exactly what they wanted to do, and they executed that plan. The LGBTQ has a damn plan. BLM ain't got nothing. So this is why the combination of BLM and LGBTQ is a bad idea for BLM supporters, but most BLM supporters, stupidly, have bought into the idea that these people's plights are one and the same. That what black people need in America, gay people needed too, and we should combine forces. This is a bad idea. It's already too late. All right, BLM, you already lost all your energy to the gay people. They already took it from you. But this is why it's a bad idea, and I just explained to you why. Because they have no game plan whatsoever, and the person with the game plan is going to end up winning simply because they know what they're going to do with all the energy once they generate it. See, it's one thing to be able to generate attention and energy. It's another thing to know what to do once the attention and energy actually finds you. See, if you're out there trying to get attention right now, all right, that's a good idea. We're in an attention-based economy. But now, once you get the attention, what you going to do with it? What did BLM do? Again, I asked this question. What did they do with all the attention and energy that they had from the summer of 2020 to now? I don't think many of you can answer the question. But LGBTQ knew what they were doing. And that's why we're at where we're at right now. So all you BLM supporters, if you want to call yourself that, supporters of BLM, and who don't agree with the gay agenda, well, you probably can't be BLM if you don't agree with the gay agenda. That ship has already sailed. But there's a bunch of people out there, I would think, who are supporters of the black movement. You want to see black people advance in America in whatever way, even if this is your thing. But you don't agree with the LGBTQ stuff. You can't speak up and still be BLM. You'll be excommunicated from the situation. You'll be out of the circle. And this is why that whole thing is going left. And I think at some point, actually I know at some point, this is all going to come to a head between the people who are okay with the LGBTQ stuff and the people who are not, because they're going to keep pushing. This is, again, I told you, is acceptance, then it's celebration, then it's participation. And when that participation part keeps getting pushed, eventually some people are going to push back, and then there's going to be real conflict, and then some people are going to have to make some real decisions. And then we're going to really see what's up at that point. That's coming. And it's not going to take that long because they got a ton of momentum right now, LGBTQ. So, and this whole thing with Dwayne Wade and his son becoming a daughter is ridiculous as far as I'm concerned. With all that, and I might talk about that in a future video, I might not. All that said, text me, tell me the best thing you got from this video. You agree or disagree with me? My number is 305-384-6894. If you didn't already leave in the comments, you can text me as well. And Work on Your Game University. You want to get a real life education? It's not about this nonsense, about some real stuff. I'm talking about this because people are talking about it. So I just want to put my thoughts out there. Make sure I'm on the record before this shit gets out of control and everybody starts talking about it. A lot of people talking about it now, but I want to be on the record ahead of that. Work on Your Game University. You get real life education, real things. WorkOnYourGameUniversity.com. Work on your game. Dre all day.